Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Well, hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. On this special show, we welcome Derek McInnes as the next Rangers manager. Join myself also on the show this evening is my big mucker, AK. Evening, big man.
Good evening, Oxshire. Good evening, the techie team and everybody that's listening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
Yes, we've been sitting patiently waiting for this to happen. So, about 10 days now, AK. I must admit, when the news broke initially last Monday, I'm going to say, I initially thought it was the rumours that you get on internet pages, but quite quickly it looked as if it was concrete. I was actually expecting it sometime last week, but it's rolled on to today. Look, before we get your opinions, mate, I think there's a statement for the club that you've kindly volunteered to read, so that people can hear. See what I done there?
By me rolled on. I seen what you done there. Right.
I'm going to go for my tea. Will you read the statement?
Aye, no bother. Right, I'll try my best. Right, Rangers today confirms the appointment of Derek McInnes as our new men's first team manager on a 3-year contract. The club welcomes Derek back to Ibrox as he joins from Heart of Midlothian. He brings with him a vast managerial experience, having taken charge of over 800 matches and an understanding of what it means at Rangers after playing here for 5 largely successful seasons from 1995 till 2000. His managerial career began in 2007 at St Johnstone. He's gone on to have spells at Bristol City, Aberdeen, Kilmarnock and most recently Hearts, where he was named the PFA Scotland and SPFL and SFWA Manager of the Year. Joining with Derek will be assistants Alan Archibald, Paul Sheeran and Craig Clark. Speaking upon his appointment as Rangers manager, Derek McInnes said, "It's been a real honour to become the manager of Rangers Football Club. It is no secret I grew up as a Rangers supporter and I'm convinced that this is the right time to take on this prestigious role given the club's structure and leadership from Andrew, the board and Jim. The demands are clear. Our supporters rightfully have high expectations. It's upon me, my staff, my players to meet those expectations and have this club performance as it should. There is a lot of hard work ahead, but already the preparations have begun and I'm looking forward to meeting the current squad in the coming weeks and welcoming some new faces." Rangers chairman Andrew Kavanagh commented, "I am delighted to welcome Derek to Rangers. He's someone we have always rated highly and we believe he's exactly what this club needs at the moment in time. His deep Scottish and Rangers experience are important for us. He knows how to win in this league. He's coming off an extremely strong season with Hearts." Rangers Chief Executive Officer Jim Gillespie added, "Derek understands what this club stands for and the standard required to succeed here. We are very pleased that we were able to get Derek in position prior to pre-season training beginning. With Derek's addition to the team, we'll continue to drive forward to make this club win consistently."
Thanks for that, mate. Well done. Congratulations. Go and have a lie down.
I know, I think I will.
Right, listen, mate. What we'll do is we'll quickly get the phone lines open so that people can come in and join us. We recognise there's a big game of football that people might have some interest in tonight. We know that. We get that. We live and breathe the football world. But, however, this is a Rangers show and you're welcome to join us, give your thoughts. We'll get the phone lines open. Then I'm interested in your take on what's happened in the last 10 days, AK. Okay, so let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Okay, mate. I'll be honest with you. I never seen it coming, mate. I never seen it coming. It wasn't whispered, then it broke. Bang. What's your take on what's happened, mate?
Oh, it's been very quick. Everybody's in summer mode, and it's just about getting the. It's mainly the focus has been in the World Cup, to be honest with you, rather than the club. But when the whiff came out that Danny Röhl was getting considered for the Salzburg job through the Red Bull connections, things quickly materialised and where we were. Danny Röhl was left the club today, and we've now got a new manager, Derek McInnes. Have I got reservations about it, Ox? I've got to be honest with you. Aye, I have. No, for because I don't like Derek or I don't rate him as a manager. I think all the credentials is there, but listen, I'm being honest. His pedigree, his credentials as a manager, he doesn't have a lot of winning behind him. Shall we say he's got a lot of experience behind him, and he certainly knows Scottish football and how to set teams up. He's got great credentials within our league. But there's been a couple of times there with Aberdeen and obviously with Hearts there, he's had opportunities there to win the big one at the expense he is. But before, we weren't in the league set up when he took his Aberdeen team and he was up against a Ronnie Dyla team and couldn't get it over the line last season. He had opportunities there as well and didn't get it over the line. But listen, you know me, mate. I'm a Rangers supporter, same as yourself. I'm not about individuals. If McInnes comes in and be a success with Rangers manager, that'll do for me.
Well, Danny Röhl obviously thought it was the right thing for him, his family or whoever, to go to pastures new. Danny Röhl, the guy, I wish him the best of luck. It was part of history. It doesn't want to be here. I think it's the right thing to do, mate. Yeah, move on. So we've moved on. Derek McInnes, you're right. Yeah, he ticks a lot of boxes on one side of the page, and there's some he doesn't tick on another side. But yeah, I think you could say that about anybody, mate, really. I mean, if you brought in Pep, for instance, I know he's no unemployed, he still worked for Man City in certain capacity, but for some people, there was some boxes he doesn't tick. Holbert's a big fan, as you know. But look, only time will tell. He has to get his own players in, build his own time, and you need a bit of luck, mate. I will say, but when Gerrard came in 2018, it was exciting because it was a brand, but we brought in guys that haven't excited. Kitchener, maybe even Michael Beale. Didn't know a lot about Clermont, but then when you see he's played 44 games for Belgium, he knows the game. Danny Röhl came in, started okay. He's a very decent fella. Acquitted himself reasonably well. Failed at the end, along with his team. But the manager carries it can. I think it's worked out well for us because I think if Danny get banned, one bad result at the start of the season, mate, the clamour would have started and would have been on that wheel that I think you don't want us to be on, but I think that's reality. So I think we've maybe stumbled on something that's maybe going to be fortunate for us, if that makes sense.
No, 100%. I agree with you there, Ox. And listen, if you've seen social media's reaction, I know you're not on it, but I'm a. If you've seen social media's reaction for Danny Röhl get announced to potentially speaking to Salzburg, our support had already made up their mind. So that basically, say that as a tester for the start of the season, and we're still going ahead with Danny Röhl as our manager. See, in the first a dozen games, and if we fall anything behind, our support would just be, well, they've proved it in past. Their reaction is just, no, we're not having you, on to the next manager. So I think Andrew Cavanagh's possibly had a look at that. Danny Röhl's possibly had a look at that and said, nah, I don't need this. I've got ventures there for me where I don't need all this pressure and we start again. So from a supporter's point of view, the vast majority that I see, the reaction is very positive for Derek McInnes coming in now and getting things done now. But what it also says to me, Oxen, you just need to look at the season just past there. We need a clear out of that dressing room. And I think Danny Röhl had recognised that. I think the owners had recognised that. It's now down to Derek McInnes to just clear out as many as they can and get his own players in there that he can trust, you know.
I'll tell you again. I've told you before, mate.
It's easier said than done.
You've no control on that in a football club, dude. No control, but people don't want to go, mate. Yeah.
Aye. I understand that, Ox.
Aye.
Understand
But
that.
listen, I think there'll be people go. There'll be people come in and we'll watch this space. It'll be interesting to see what kind of, if there's been any handover. You know, if it's amicable and then there's the handover and a dossier for if Derek was to go down the route of the similar players, because he'll have his ideas what we need. And obviously Danny Rhöl had his ideas what he needs. But Danny Rhöl's gone, mate. It's Derek McInnes and his team to build his team in the future. Look, we know we need, I wouldn't like to guess how many players we need in the building. It might be as many 12 to 14, mate. But we definitely need 5, 6 starters, mate. And I mean, you know, I'm not talking about potential or whatever. We need 5 or 6 guys that's going to come in and be starters in our team.
Aye. Totally agree with you. Well, look, so all your loan signings, we know we've no got them to worry about. I believe they call him the big centre half.
The Jigger.
No, the Welsh boy.
Ben Davis.
Ben Davis. His contract's expired now, isn't he? He's away. And Tavernier's away. So that's a couple that we definitely know. But all of a sudden you're looking at 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 players. We had a turnover of nearly 30 last year, if you remember right, with Russell Martin. But a lot of his players didn't fit the bill. So there's got to be a lot of wheeling and dealing. But no, listen, I welcome Derek McInnes to the club, and I wish him every success, because if he's bringing in success, that'll do for me and that'll do for our support.
Well, he's a Rangers supporter. He's never had it. Yeah, when he's a young man, when he signed with the club, he's never had it. So I doff my hat to him for that. Yeah, I don't think he ever should hide it neither. That's another subject for another time. So he's come in and everybody knows that he'll know about us, we know about him, and that's a good mix. That'll give him time for some people, but sometimes, AK, that gives you other pressures. And if you're really honest with me, Tuna said he had a passion for our club as a young man, but he was playing football down south really young, Graham. So if you really look at it, forget about all the interim managers. It's only been Walter that's been a Scottish Rangers supporter. You have to go back to maybe Jock, if you're honest, mate, before that. And then obviously with history, the managers are a lot less. It's easier to work out. But in modern times, we've tried with Stevie G, Englishman we brought up, Bale. We've tried the foreign route with Cacinha. We've tried it with Giovanni, who he's just got a 4-hour job, and I wish him well. I didn't have a problem, and you can't say that Giovanni doesn't know the game, because he did. And it just didn't work out. So we've tried everything. So we're going back, if you like, AK, I'll say it without meaning flippant. We're going back to basics. We're going back to our ethos. He's come in, one of us, and we'll see where it goes. Now, it's moved on for, say, Jock was at the club, and you were signing just for the Scottish market. It moved on, and the game's moved on. But you'll be looking at other markets to see who you're bringing in. But as long as Derek McInnes gets to bring the players he wants into the club, and he gets it back in everybody involved in the club, he gets a good crack of the whip. Gets a bit of luck, we should be all right, mate. If you don't get a bit of luck, or should I say, you might have some dodgy refereeing goes against you. He'll well know about that. Things will work or they'll not work, mate. But I wish him all the best, and he'll know the demands of the club, mate.
Oh, definitely. He'll be under no illusions. It's head down and get to work right away. Listen, everything you've said is fact. You know, he's been at a club. He was never an outstanding player there. He's probably his managerial career actually reflects a good part of how he was as a player as well. He was intelligent. He carried himself well. He was a hard worker, you know, and made the best for his ability and whatever he lacked. You know, he worked hard to improve it. So his managerial career for St Johnstone down to Bristol, that was towing the water down in England, and then you kind of restart again up in Scotland. He's been at a big club there with Aberdeen and Hearts, high expectation. St Johnstone as well was a good grounding for him, So the Scottish market is his baby, so he knows, he prides himself in knowing that he knows a lot of players in every league. I've heard them do interviews with this Jamestown and analytics that Hearts have took over for the Tony Bloom situation, where he said that Summit was actually a wee bit surprising even to him on how they rated certain players within the Scottish market. So I think that the fact that we've got that Rangers guy back in the dugout, he knows the club, he knows the expectations, the standards he's got to embrace. He's not got to, be fearful. He knows the crowd's expectation of him as well. Everything's there for him, but it's up to him to get the results, because that's been an issue there for new managers coming in. That you can excuse them a bit with no knowing the league and no knowing what it's like to go into Dundee on a certain night, and Aberdeen are playing poor for him, and then all of a sudden the Razor game, McInnes will know all that, and you would expect him to feed that information on to players. But a manager's only as good as his workforce, Ox. So the workforce has got to work, for him to have any chance at success.
I'm going to give you a wee bit of trivia, AK. You know me, yeah, and I know I like to test your Rangers knowledge. I would think that any Rangers supporter would know this, mate. Yeah.
Come on, you go then.
What year do you think Derek McInnes made his most appearances for our club?
Well, it said he was there between 95 and 2000. I don't think McInnes had a load of appearances for his early years. I would say 98, I'll say.
96, 97, mate. The 9 in a row year. He started 10
Right.
league games and come on 10 times as a substitute, yeah. A total of 32 appearances, 17 starts, 15, and he scored his 4 goals for the club that season. After that, very little starts, mate. But mate, yeah. But his last five games of the club are really, really interesting, mate. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. His last 5 games for the club were Valencia. He started Valencia away. We lost 2-1, and they had a cracking team then. PSV Eindhoven, when the Michael Moles inspired Rangers beat PSV 4-1. Yeah. He played against Dunfermline the week before that. And then in the 1999 Scottish Cup final, he started as Rangers won the treble, beating Celtic 1-0, yeah. And if you were asking me name that team, mate, I'd off the top of my head, mate, I don't think I've got McInnes in it. Klaus, Pereira, Amoruso, Colin Henry, Tony Vidmar, Neil McCann, Derek McInnes, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, Rod Wallace, Gabriel Amato, and George Albert. Substitutes: Ian Ferguson, Androcus Chelchis, and Scott Wilson. There you go, mate.
Right.
So
that was the score. That was the score Wilson
oh,
then.
he's gone, mate. Don't mention him, mate. Wow. Yeah.
Aye, fair play. It's a decent team. Rangers were strong in the midfield with a strong squad, but I think he was well thought of with the players and obviously the manager. But he's obviously been a sponge in there, even as a player. I think he was probably one of the guys you could have said, if you were in the dressing room, who could potentially be on going to become a manager. I think a lot of them would have said McInnes there and then. And I think Walter took a shining to that because it was a wee bit similar to his own kind of career method. When at Dundee United, he wasn't a very outstanding player, shall we say, and Jim McLean taking a shine to him. So, no, good luck to him. He's certainly he's a long managerial career for such a young man. What age is he now? Mid-50s?
I'll give you exactly what age he is, mate. I'll give you exactly what age he is.
Yeah. So,
He'll be 55, yeah, on the
uh-huh.
5th,
Uh-huh.
5th to the 7th, yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So,
Right. So
obviously,
so that means
the
that
first week,
he was manager when he was what, 34?
yeah, that'd be right, mate.
Or
Aye.
30?
Aye,
Aye.
he's been manager for quite a long time now, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Aye.
that's where the experience comes in. Look, mate, I wish him all the best. But as you rightly said, mate, he needs people on the door. I think there's a lot of movement in the club. I think we could be having a few more shows as people come in the door and we start building up quickly. We're due for the fixtures, as you know, mate. I
Yeah.
think box
Tomorrow.
office would be Rangers away to Hearts the first game of the season. I can see that happening. Yeah,
I put your wages on it.
I'd either go there or Pittodrie, mate. There's nothing surer, yeah.
Yeah. Aye. Aye.
You know?
Ah, well, we'll just need to see what the supercomputer can bring out for us. But aye, listen, he needs to get off to a good start. I'm sure that would be the box office one the TV companies would like right away, wouldn't it?
Aye, aye. So we are where we are, mate, and you're saying it on social media, yeah. My phone's been pinging a lot. It was particularly last week when it all broke. It's calmed down a bit now. As we all knew, we were just waiting for it coming, and we decided we wouldn't go live till something became official because you know, what I mean, it's never done till it's done, AK, is it?
No, no, very true. Things can fall through unexpectedly, but the fact that Salzburg came out and announced Danny Rhöl earlier today, and then Rangers have obviously sat on that to make their own announcement tonight. So the managerial merry-go-round will now become evident.
Aye, aye. So what it's done, what's the AK's take on it? Right, you've gave your pros and cons. You swapped McInnes with Rhöl. Are you saying yeah, thumbs up? Are you saying neutral? Or are you saying thumbs down?
No, I've got to be really honest with you, Ox. My fingers have been burnt that many times with buying managers here that I'm kind of at that position there now where I'm loath to get 100% behind them, but I'm probably about 80 to 90% behind them. But I like to work in facts, and with what I'm reading about his lack of winning, I know there's mitigating circumstances that he's not the strongest club, but he was at Aberdeen there when you had Rangers, Hearts, and Hibs out the league. So his only opponent to beat, to win the league and to win cups in Scotland for the years was Celtic, and he never managed. I think he won one League Cup. He's been in a position last year with Hearts there where they didn't qualify out of the knockout stages or the group stages to qualify for the knockout stages in the League Cup. They were in a position with Hearts strong. They lost. Listen, I think Hearts were cheated to be VAR. We all know that. But they also lost silly points at Livingston, St Mirren, and Kilmarnock, as well as the VAR instance. So he's got a lot to prove, and he's got a lot to improve on.
Come on,
I,
thumbs up,
I don't.
neutral, thumbs down. It's not hard.
I'm neutral the now. I'm neutral the now.
Right, I'm going to tell you, it's a thumbs up for the Ox, right? And the question was swapping Danny Rhöl for Derek McInnes, mate, because that's what's happened, right? Danny
Yep.
is away to pastures new, right? Because he obviously wanted to go, the clubs gave him permission, so everybody's happy. I think we're in a better place because we've got somebody in that wants to be there. And I think, as I rightly said at the start of the show, AK, if there was a hiccup at the start of the season, we'd have had to get through that circus. I'm not saying Derek McInnes will get forever, but with building his team and he's just come in the door, he'll get a wee bit more patience, yeah, and the support will hopefully get behind him. So that's a thumbs up for me for that position. I accept what you're saying about where he is and what his record is in the trophy hall, mate, but you've also got to be realistic then that it's when you compare apples for apples. It wasn't even a 2-horse race then, mate. It was a 1-horse race done deliberately. They were never going to win it, mate, if they'd have got too close. other people maybe wearing black might have helped to decide where it was going to go, mate, yeah?
Aye, I know what you're getting at there. I know what you're getting at. But what I would say to counteract that is Callum Davidson won 2 cups with St Johnstone, and Stephen Robinson's went in and done well with St Mirren, you know.
Aye.
So I'm not totally knocking Derek McInnes' achievements. Listen, he's a safe pair of hands right now, and what he did with Hearts last year
Is that
is
from going
commendable
to
because
45 degrees? Is it going to 45?
that would be telling. But no, listen, Hearts were cheated last year, and if Hearts had won the league, and we're going to Hearts for their captain, their striker, and their manager, there's no chance that we'll be getting the two of them. So it might be fate that we get Shankland and we get McInnes, and then we build again and we go again. Because listen, there's a lot of supporters out there being crying to go and get McInnes years ago, to go and get Shankland years ago, Lewis Ferguson years ago, and we've ignored that market, Ox, and it's been to our detriment. That I will agree with. You know, we've lost our identity as a team, and it's not been good filling the team full of foreign mercenaries who are just basically, you know,
No, a lot
drew
of
all
them
the money out of the club, you know.
a lot of them have the work. Look, I wish we haven't had a show since Lauren Shanklin signed, mate, yeah? Because that happened quite quickly as well. I wish him all the best, mate. I
Absolutely.
think the way they cut his jib, I think he's a top boy, and I wish him all the best. He's 30 years of age, and he's moving into the twilight of his career. He's a fantastic finisher, yeah. We know that. We've witnessed it. We've seen it, mate. He scores all sorts of goals. The only one I would maybe think in the modern era, maybe close to him, is maybe Boyd. The only time will tell us how good he'll be for us, mate. Again, he needs a bit of luck, he needs a bit of service. I hope he's really successful, because if he's really successful, that means that we'll be winning honours, mate. So I wish him all the best. I think it's a great signing. I don't think it's going to be. I think if people are expecting him to do it single handedly in Cuckoo Land, he'd a boy a break, yeah?
Oh, it's a great signing for me, Ox. That is 100% thumbs up signing for me. Shankland, his game intelligence has actually moved on, and he's a far better player. I mean, I believe that Ian McCall actually offered him to Gerrard back in 2019? But he was a completely different player then. And Gerrard, I think, had his eye on maybe somebody like Cedric Ittner that at the time. So he's bided his time at Hearts. He's improved Hearts. He's got them to be within a whisker. They've been Scottish champions, and now he's got his dream move. The two of them have got their dream move. So just make it a dream come true for us all, and let's see some red, white, and blue ribbons on the trophies that we all crave for.
Well, I'll say it again, and I wish Lauren Shankland all the best. I don't know the boy personally, but I know a lot of people that do. And he's maybe a top lad, yeah. I wish him all the best, mate, but I hope we don't put too much pressure on him, because he can't do it all himself. Nobody can. He's got first
No.
of all, how he plays, he's going to need people to supply him, mate. So we need to get the rest of the team right. Doesn't matter how good a finisher he is. He also has to keep fit. He also has to keep fit. Like some of that comes to the lot. We're talking about keep fit. I don't know if you've seen the Duncan Ferguson bit on some of the World Cup, when Gary Neville was talking about people not drinking anymore, and how it extends his career, because he then don't go, when you have operations, you have any fitness worries. You can bounce back quicker because you're teetotal. When Big Dunk says, had 10 operations. What a line, mate. What a line.
Aye, well, there's a lot of analytics and sports science and all that in it there now, but aye, no, Big Duncan he's falling apart, but aye, it's maybe to his detriment that he didn't look after his body as well as probably should have. But
that's what he was saying, mate. Right,
aye.
we're back on. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, we'll see one on the door. possibly a captain and a manager come in the door. Is that what you're thinking, AK?
I'm hoping Lewis Ferguson is going to be our captain, to be honest with you, Ox. That's me just being greedy. But at this moment in time, if we were to go with Lawrence Shanklin as our captain, I wouldn't be perturbed about that, because he has showed great leadership qualities at Hearts. He is a leader on the park. He demands, a high standard, and he's also a good guy that's good with his teammates and is always in the ear of a referee. He's just playing the game basically. But listen, it's exciting times ahead, Docs. It's exciting times ahead.
Yeah, it is, mate. It is, because look, we know where we are. We recognise where we are. Yeah, and it was sore. It was sore how it petered out last season. The whole season was sore, if we're really honest about it, AK. But because we get back up that, we climbed up that mountain again, and then we plummeted at the end, mate. Let's be honest, we did. Yeah, and look, I'm not saying it's all down to the manager. Some it's down to the manager. Some it could have been down to certain players. Some it down to all the players, mate. But we ended up finishing. It felt like a flop, and it was for the final 5 games. One out of 5 is shocking for him, mate. Yeah. So
It was.
that's gone. That's gone. We can't do nothing about it. And we've moved on. And by the way, I think, Conway, what you're saying and the people I've talked to, some people have got their wish. A lot of people have got their wish because they didn't think that Danny was a good fit. I didn't think it made sense to sack him, but if he didn't want to be there, I think that makes perfect sense.
Oh, you've been consistent with what you say there, and I agree with you. If a player or manager doesn't want to be at the club, then fine. We're not going to stand in your way. You need somebody that's 100% committed. And I listened to 4 Lads, Stevie Clifford, at the night, and it's true what he's saying as well. There's a lot of managers have been using Rangers, and players using Rangers as a stepping stone to where they want to get to be. I.e., Nico Raskin wants to get to the English Premier League. Well, Derek McInnes, this is his final destination. His full managerial and playing career was all about ending up at Rangers, the club that he loves. We've heard that famous statement with Davy Cooper. So he's one of us. He gives our identity back. We'll look at the Scottish market, whereas we've been, overlooking them in previous gone years, and that's probably been a detriment to our team. So we'll recognise the players that we should be bringing in the Oxford and going, who's he? Look at a YouTube video. As Albert says, he looks all right on YouTube, but what's it like in person? So listen, it's just a wee bit more familiarity, and hopefully that's the route to success, because we've tried everything else up. So I think it's just last chance saloon before we start ripping our blue forms up again.
Listen, mate, people come and go for football clubs, especially now. You don't have the longevity. Most people don't have the longevity like in generations past, mate. It just doesn't happen. It's the exception rather than the norm. It used to be the way it used to be. So players will come and go, managers will come and go. Yeah, we're hoping that Derek McInnes gets another contract at Rangers. Why? Because that means he's been successful, AK, and that's what we're hoping for. Yeah, could you put your hand in that and say it's going to be it's written in stone that that's going to happen? No, you can't. But if he gets the right players and he gets the support, we'll not be far away, mate.
No, you're right. Ox, I'll ask you a question here. What do you think the social media reaction would have been when Walter replaced Graham Souness?
I can tell you exactly what it would have been, mate. I can tell you what it was like at the time. Yeah,
Aye, so can I.
yeah. People were underwhelmed, mate.
Yep.
Yeah,
I remember his press conference, Ox, when David Murray announced it, and even the press, there was silence. And he says, "What, were you expecting somebody else?"
yeah. It
You
was.
remember?
I mean, obviously, people were looking for a big name, and Walter wasn't he? He was the assistant manager. He was well liked at the club because of the way he always conducted himself. And he came in the door, mate. We poached Archie Knox come in, and we got him from Manchester United to come in with Walter, and it didn't start great. I think his first game we won 1-0 at Love Street, I think, from memory, and quite quickly we had a 3-0 defeat away at Murrayville that meant that Aberdeen were in the driving post, and who knows if that hadn't panned out that day, what would have happened with Walter? You know, but the rest is history, mate. You move on quite quickly. And Walter turned out to be the right appointment for a long number of years, mate, twice. You know, and I'm not going to say that Derek McInnes is going to do that, mate, because that wouldn't be fair. But he's got one name, and we want the league title back, mate. That's his aim, mate. Yeah, obviously we want more silver, but he'll recognise that. And the demands are that we want to play well and get results in Europe for the prestige of the club. He'll recognise that also. It's also easier said than done, mate. You know?
Well, what I'm basically angling at, though, Ox, is that the stars have aligned for Derek to be at our club. And I think the stars were aligned for Walter to be at the club, because he served his apprenticeship under Jim McLean at Dundee United as a number 2. He went to the World Cup with Sir Alex. He done his groundwork with Scottish youth, with Andy Roxburgh, you know, so he was already building a pretty good, you know, coaching credentials within the game.
You saying to me, AK, you saying to me that Walter came in our club the last time the World Cup was played in Mexico, and you're saying that because it's been played in Mexico again, that the stars are aligned? Is that what you're saying?
There you go. Yes. There you go. History does repeat itself, Fox.
Wow.
So
you're a lot more clever, and I give you credit for it.
Aye, well, hey, there's plenty I'll disagree. No, but you know what I'm saying. And by the way, Walter was a young man. You know, he was early 40s, I think, when he took over for Graham Souness, even though he had that pedigree and for the coaching and that he'd done with the astute managers that he'd done. Well, Derek has basically went out there and done it all himself. He's not the fortune to learn off a Sir Alex or a Jim McLean or that. He's went out there and learned from his mistakes, you know, and he's built his own career to put himself in the position. So I'm warming to him, Ox. He's one of us, isn't he?
Right. You know, but you've also got to mind that Walter signed him. He also played under Dick Advocaat, not a lot. But he was still there and playing, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if I name you that team for that PSV game, mate, if I just get it back up, when he played, when we beat PSV, the team was Klaus Perini, Craig Moore, Amaruso, Barry Ferguson, Van Bronckhorst, Michael Moles, Rod Wallace, Tony Wiedmer, Neil McCann, and Derek McInnes. Substitutes, yes, substitutes. Listen to this, Kate. Alberts, Johansson, and Kanchelskis were the 3 subs that came on.
Different days, wasn't it? Different days. There's some class players that you just named there, Ox. By the way, McInnes, did he have many Scotland caps, Ox? I can't remember him featuring that much.
None that I don't. I'm not aware of, mate. I'll check that out for you, mate.
Is that right? Aye.
No, I don't think so.
He could consider himself unlucky then if he's getting a game ahead of the likes of Kanchelskis and Alberts, and he's not getting a game ahead of John Collins or Craig Burley, you know.
Yeah, well.
But
we've always been the establishment club. I don't think he got any international caps. I'm going to put my life for it, mate. He sometimes miss them, didn't he?
Yeah.
Let me see.
So there was foresee how do you think he sets up his team then? How did you think that Hearts were they a 4-3-3 team?
A lot of the time, mate. I think you'll find with Derek he'll have different. I think he's going to have different strokes for different folks, mate. I think he'll realise that we have to go and win football matches, mate. So will be more offensive at times. You know, if you think about it, there was teams coming to Ibrox, mate, and we weren't playing well, and he'll recognise that and knows where he's going to get us, mate. Knows where he's going to get us, and that's because he knows the club. No, he never got any caps, mate. Oh, wait a minute. International career, 2 caps, 2002, mate. You get 2 caps. Sorry, mate, I missed that.
There you go.
I done him a disservice, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was against.
2002, who'd have been the manager then?
Craig Brown. Craig Brown. No, that in 98 World Cup.
98, aye. Was it Bertie Vauxhall that been in then? No.
Might have been, mate, 2002. See, I can't find it, mate. It was against, I'm sure I can find it.
Yeah.
But aye, fair play to him. I mean, listen, I know there's a lot of people capped that you don't fancy, but it's still fair play to anybody that gets an international cap, mate, yeah.
Aye, fair play to anybody that makes a career out of professional football.
Aye, I know.
Aye, there's certainly that Lewis Ferguson connection there as well, because he had him at Aberdeen, they bought him for Hamilton Accies, and I seen an interview there actually where he had to plead with the board to fund the money to go and get him. He played him as a 6, he could play him as an 8, he played him as a 10. So there's a relationship already there. It's just everybody's putting 2 and 2 together. Lewis Ferguson's a big Rangers supporter. Obviously his dad and his uncle played, but it's obviously his finances and stuff. If we can wheel and deal, and possibly if you're letting go Nico Raskin, for instance, would you go and get Lewis Ferguson? Things like that, Tavernier's no there anymore. Danilo we're looking to get rid of.
Well, I don't think again. I think you've got to make sure you're improving the quality, mate, and you're not just buying. Look, the boys are not a bad player. He's playing in a World Cup. Let's be honest, him and Shankland. Yeah,
Aye.
They're definitely going to improve our squad. I'd need to see them, and like Lawrence, we'll judge them when we see them week in, week out, mate. And if Lewis Ferguson, if Derek McInnes wants Lewis Ferguson, and the board could get him, they're power to Derek's elbow if that's who he wants and he thinks they're part of a jigsaw. I believe that all managers should be supported and try and get their players in. And in some respects, the one that came in last summer, that was a problem, mate. We just went mental, didn't it? And people weren't a good fit. We could see it. Everybody could see it, bar the people who were in charge. Yeah.
Yeah. Incidentally, did you see the Scotland game there at the weekend, Docs?
I did, mate. I did.
I thought Lewis Ferguson was outstanding in the middle of the park. I don't know what you thought yourself.
I didn't think there was an outstanding player on the pitch.
I
thought Scotland were atrocious in the second half.
I agree, but for the job that he done for the team, he screamed that back four. But no, I agree. The Scotland team wasn't good. I thought Ben Garendonk was probably our most influential player going forward, but the rest of them weren't great at all. But I thought Lewis Ferguson won everything in his area of the pitch and screened the back four.
I don't think anybody get past marks in the second half, mate. I thought they were atrocious.
Oh, you're a hard taskmaster.
I thought they were really poor second half, mate. That's my opinion, mate.
Aye.
Like one scarf shot in the second half, mate, against one of the lowest ranked teams in the competition.
I know.
Into context.
There's been some poor teams there as well, and some poor games as well.
They're going to go for anybody for the World Cup. That boy scored the 2 goals in the second half last night.
The one Mbappe. The boy.
He's not happy.
It wasn't a bad foot celebration, I know.
Aye, it'd be popular with the fans, wouldn't it? Yeah, you watch that, mate. I had a quick look at it. I've not watched all the games, mate. I'm like you. I've got a job, right? But right, but if you watch all the games, mate, you watched Mbappe in the first half, you would think he was one of the best players in the world. If you watch the second half isolated, him and the boy from Bayern Munich, wow.
Aye, Olise. Aye,
let's be honest, they were a decent team. They were the worst team in the world, Senegal.
No. There another game the other night where Portugal got held to a draw with Congo. You know, so they're a coot buster.
There you go. That's Mr. Fox is asking us, what's more important attribute in a manager, man management or tactics? McInnes doesn't have much European experience. Will he be judging this, or is it first few games? I think the start's important for him. I like it as I think any manager, particularly domestically. European games can come down to the opposition, AK, yeah?
Well, Danny Rhöl didn't exactly flourish in European games either, but there's a lot of mitigating circumstances with the squad and all that at the time. His very first game, in fact, away to Brann, 3-0, and he's apologising to the support. Well, it just shows you that every game matters for our club. We know that, but any foreigner coming into the club, he'll think he'll maybe get 2-3 weeks of grace. Nah, you need to win right away. You need to hit the ground running, and Derek will know that. So he's got to get his men and into the club that he's comfortable with and he trusts, and he's got to get his own players as quickly as possible, and just let us get back winning the first trophy this season, for example, League Cup. That's a statement of intent for the rest of the season.
Taking Foxes, I think with our club, mate, there's the majority of games we're playing we're expected to win, but some of the away games are beginning tricky, so I don't know if tactics come into that. I think it's the heart and desire for a lot of times. But then there's certain games I think you've got your strings to your bow, and then you set your team up differently. Because if you just do the same thing, if you go back to Matt Warburton, it wasn't a bad fella, and at the start it was attacking football, quite attractive. But the bubble burst quite quickly. I think it burst really about November when we get beat at Hibs. I think it was Hibs in the league. That was it. The bubble wasn't great, mate, and it started to unravel. That when when teams know exactly what you're going to do, teams can stop you. So I think you need more than one string to your bow, mate. You need to be flexible. If not, what's the point of having a manager in the dugout, mate? Yeah, because you've got, I've always thought that. If you're sitting watching a game at all levels of football, and the right back's controlling your left winger, mate, and you still think your left winger is a good player, either you move him or you take him off. Why would you let it keep happening? It just doesn't make sense. So I would think that's come down to a combination of both, mate, tactics and management, because you need to know the individuals, because some players can't handle it. If you even say they've got a hair out of place, and other people you can scream at, and they don't bother. So that's the man management. But I say that there'll be to answer Fox's questions. I think they're both equally important. But for a majority of the games that we play, I think the man management for the manager comes into play, because we should dominate the football in a lot of the domestic games, and we should win a vast majority of them without any tactics. If we're being honest, AK.
I agree with that. It's down to your level of player as well. You don't need to tell them many tactics. I mean, I've heard Ian Durant and that speak about Walter, and he said he wasn't a great tactical. He was certainly highlight certain key players or that to keep an eye on or whatever. But he was just basically he trusted the ability that he had as a team, the players that he had in his team to go out there and do their jobs properly. Big Goff and Brown, they marshalled the defence. You've got Ian Ferguson, that marshal in the midfield with McCall, McCoy, Haley. They speak for themselves. They put the ball in the back of the net. So if you've got that level of player at your disposal, then I think the manager's just there to give them words of encouragement and go out there and do your job, and just remind them why they're there in the first place. You're out there to win for the thousands that are watching you, both at the stadium and at home in their TVs all around the world.
I mean, you've got special players that can do different things, but you've got to help them, protect them, get the water carriers, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, somebody's got to keep the ball at the net and get it up to the guys that score the goals.
Aye. It's it's no rocket science, Ox.
No.
We've said this many a times when Port Bears, you know, said about philosophy managers and that. I think the game's been complicated and certain players have been overcoached, whereas the natural ability of some players, i.e. a Jack Grealish, yeah, that maverick you never see in the game now, Ox. You know, it's all about
Maybe we'll
style
do
of football and
maybe
ball
we'll do
possession.
we'll maybe do a special at the first international break. All Bears views on world football, mate. That could be entertaining, mate. Honestly, yeah, honestly,
And the 12-hour show.
oh, mate. We would have to let him start, go straight to the tune, then give him a second question, then we go to the Queen, yeah, sorry, the King. Yeah.
I could see a list coming out.
Yeah. You know, he would tell you, mate. Look, the game's changed. Some it's for the better, some it's no for the better, yeah. You know, and by the way, they've changed the game again at the World Cup, some of the things, and some it's all right. I seen the night, the Congo guy, goal kick, more than 5 seconds, corner awarded. It's the first I've
Really?
seen it.
Aye.
First I've seen it. Yeah.
They've changed the throw-in takers. I've noticed as well. If you're dillying on the throw-in, they change the throw-in takers. But these refreshment breaks and that, it's just an excuse for adverts, making it into 4 quarters now, and it kills the game, the momentum. I'm not a fan of it, Ox. I don't know if you've noticed that yourself. You probably have.
I mean, obviously, people's health and safety and welfare at work is very important to some people, not to others. You know, you remember, people can fall downstairs and that. And trips and falls are the biggest cause of injuries in the workplace. Okay, I'll just let you know that. Right, but
Aye.
what I will say, right, especially when people
Speaking
are
to
sober.
experience.
Right. But what I will say is, right, but one of the things I've looked at with the World Cup, and we'll go back to Darry Rhöl in a minute, mate. Yeah, just quickly, mate. I don't think it's right that somebody in the same day is playing nearly 40-degree heat and somebody else is playing in an air-conditioned stadium.
No, I know. Aye, and they're both
And if you're playing,
subject to the
if you're playing in 40,
dehydration
nearly
rate.
35-degree heat with humidity, I think the right thing to do is to give them a water break, mate.
Absolutely. Aye.
Right.
No, I
If
get that.
if you're playing in an air-conditioned stadium, I don't even know why there's one.
Example tonight, the England game, I believe, is a closed roof stadium, so there's absolutely no reason to have the hydration breaks, you know.
That's
So,
my
aye,
take. And
good point.
I don't think it's also fair that if you're playing in a 35-degree humidity and you're playing a few days later, and that you've had that physical challenge that somebody else in the competition is following it, but you could just say that's if you've done it outside with the weather. When it's such a vast country, somewhere could be cool and somewhere could be hot. I get that, but at least it's natural. So that's my take on it, yeah. And by the way, that's for a man that thinks that maybe in Scotland that football should be played under a roof for the spectators.
Aye, well, listen, you got to admire the quality of the stadia that the games are taking place in. You know, the Americans are certainly listening again to people that are there. They say it's just unbelievable what the facilities is on hand for the supporters being there. They're not very praisal. You know how the infrastructure is. You actually getting to and from the stadia, but when you're at the place and you see what's available, your kiosks. You know, you've got Pizza Huts, you've got KFCs, you've got McDonald's, you've got you've got everything there. It's big. It's big Stevie's heaven. He would never see a game about in the kiosk all the time. And you've even got guys getting deliveries to beers to your seat and all. You know, so brilliant.
Have you been to any sporting events in the States?
I have the pal, no. Have you?
I've been to a few, mate. For Giant Stadium, I've been to Yankee Stadium. I've been to I've been to the Tampa Bay Rays. I like the baseball, believe it or not. So I've been to that a few times. I've also seen American football game. I've seen the Cosmos play as a young kid, mate, back in the day. So I've been a few times. Even then, it's a different experience. Always has been. Yeah, and these stadiums are purpose built. They when the facilities they would want for the paying public would be different for ours, mate. But the prices they charge are a different ballgame. Apart from the baseball, which is relatively cheap, mate.
Yeah.
Basketball, I've been there. I've been to Madison Square, but
Well, you're showing off now, Oxcombe.
yeah. Where else have I been? Toronto. I was at the airport and all. Aye, but it's just a different setup, mate. And it's there's a lot right and a lot wrong. There's no atmosphere, but it's different. Anyway, Smurfs quickly joined us, mate. Good to get Smurfs take on it. Smurf, evening, mate.
Hi, good evening, boys. How are you?
Evening, pal.
And I just thought I'd phone up and he's a bit of support. So
He's your Tuppence worth, Smurf. He's your Tuppence worth.
So, well, my Tuppence worth is this. I just hope that Mr. McInnes, that he sort of communicates to the players that are there, the ones that maybe he doesn't deem surplus, that maybe haven't been shown up the way they should have been. Really sort of what's expected at Rangers. Danny Rhöl, there's no way he could ever have communicated that. He wouldn't know. He's a coach, in my opinion, who's been overcoached. He's not himself as a coach. He's in that Red Bull style of things, with that fixed formation and that. And to be honest with you, I was never clamouring because of the amount of managers we've went through. I was never clamouring for him to go, but I'm absolutely not fussed that he has gone. And I just think that he's going to put something back into Rangers, which is missing for a long time. There was a sort of similar DNA that Gerrard put in, which was Liverpool, which was, you know, those standards, similar standards, but it wasn't Rangers. And I just hope it puts Rangers back into Rangers. That's what I want.
Well, he definitely knows the club, mate. He definitely knows the support. He's one of us. So it's up to him, mate. Let's hope he gets to live his dream. I'm with you, mate. But Danny Rhöl, I think I said earlier on before you come on, mate, and AK can chip in. Anything would have happened, I think the pressure would have just got mental, and then we're on that wheel, and it's mental. But he's a good fix. He might have got a great start. The league campaign and everybody would be behind him. We'll never know that now. But because of the way we finished, any blip would have been magnified. And if he didn't want to be there, and I believe this about any player, any manager, and a lot of people in works as well, if you don't want to be there, you better not be there, mate. So he's got his own reasons for moving on. He goes, Danny Rhöl, man, I wish him all the best. I couldn't care less how that team did. But we move on, and a lot of people think Dennis McInnes was the ideal candidate. Only time will tell, mate. AK's gave him a complete thumbs up. My thumb's no quite. He's got a thumbs up for Shanklin. My thumb's no quite. He wants to sign Lewis Ferguson. My thumb's no quite where AK's is. But let's hope AK's right with the players he brings in. And if that is the players he brings in going forward, one of them, talking about the boy Ferguson, and the rest of them, I hope every one of them gets a thumbs up. Because that means we are winning football matches, more football matches, and that means we're going to win leagues and cups. And that's all we're looking for, AK.
Oh, definitely, and welcome again, Smurf. Always good to hear your input. Listen, I think the one key ingredient for Derek McInnes to be a success, Smurf and Ox and the listeners, the support. The support have to get behind this guy and give him every opportunity of success.
No.
For me,
No.
this knee-jerk reaction, Ox, is killing us as a club.
There's only one thing gives you success, mate, in the football part. You keep it out of one end and put it in the other net. It doesn't matter how loud you sing or how loud you don't. If you don't put the ball in the net, you don't win. And if you lose too many goals, you lose, mate. That's what you've got to get right first. The rest off feeds after that.
But if you're coming,
If you can have the greatest support in the world, mate, and you don't put the ball in the net, you're not winning games. Smurf.
No, listen. But we've
No, I
been.
agree.
When you go, boys. When you go.
I agree that ultimately, like all managers, it doesn't matter his background, it doesn't matter his man he is, in the sense that it's matter who you are. If you don't win football matches, you'll lose your job. If your job's to score goals and you don't score goals, you're going to get punted. And if you can't keep it out the other end, if you're a goalkeeper, you're going to get punted. Everybody's got to perform. It's as simple as that. And that's where it comes down to the recruitment. And ultimately, he will. This is what I'm worried about. A lot of people sort of, you go on that hamster wheel of manager comes in, manager signs his players, doesn't work out, next manager inherits those players, fancies them, doesn't fancy them, wants his own guys. And the club's moving away from that, where they've got some sort of football board where they have a sort of powwow over it and decide on the players that are coming in. And ultimately, if it's no, you kind of contradict yourself, because if you're no signing your own players, then
there's some clubs, the coaches and the managers have no selection on players. They get what they
I
get.
get that. I get that.
In football, you know.
And I don't know if that's a good fit for Scottish football. There's a lot of things that aren't a good fit for Scottish football. Football academies and all these different things. There's maybe no the money to run them. We can't have a reserve league, for instance, because there's not enough clubs to do it. We would reserve teams to do it. So to develop players. So it's just because things are the de facto way ahead for the top 5 leagues in the world, it's not necessarily the right thing to go out and try and copy that, because your own circumstances, for instance, in this country, might not lend itself, necessarily to being a success.
Yes, mate.
Can I just quantify my statement to use two then?
Of course you can. Of course you
right. Arsenal being the example there, Smurf. 6 years they gave Arteta. I'm not saying we should be giving Derek McInnes 6 years, far from it. But they'd time, they'd patience. They had been through numerous managers for Arsene Wenger and left them. They didn't get the success. Their support, very similar standard and background to ourselves. They're used to success. They're used to fighting out for trophies. But going through, even Unai Emery didn't come in there and fit the bill. And he's went on to prove himself to be a really successful manager at other clubs. Some managers don't fit certain clubs. We've had them as well with Danny Rhöl and Clement, Gio and all that. I'm just basically saying stability and unity is the best chance forward to gain our club success. This manager merry-go-round, that's us 8 managers in the last 5 years for we win the league. And I think that's contributed to a lack of success.
Of course, it doesn't help me. For different reasons. I mean, obviously, Stevie G walked out, but gave Gio the job. But Gio gave us an unbelievable few months, mate, with Seville involved in it. We should have won the league that year. We should have won the league, and we didn't. We blew it again. And then that unravelled quite quickly. It looked as if he lost the dressing room. Michael Beale didn't have the experience or the pedigree to get the Rangers job in the game. Yeah. Brought in players that some we've still got that we took to get ready, between them. And then you went for Michael, obviously, when people come in as interim. I'm not judging them at all. Barry, when they come in, It's no fair to do that. They weren't signing, there's any planning involved. You can't judge them. And then you went to Philip, come on, arguably unlucky. And Danny Rhöl, it's a short time and he's gone, and that's it. Well, I'll quantify what I'm saying, mate. I get your spirit, unity, support, help, mate. But it looks at the finish last year that their dressing room wasn't together. You win football matches. They don't have to like each other and love each other, but your dressing room has to be together. Smurf, I know you're big in that stuff, unity and people helping each other with your background.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, I get the point, but the Arsenal thing's interesting because for 5 years, Arteta was a kind of sort of bargain basement prep, trying to emulate that, and they were beautiful to watch, Arsenal, and sort of trying to walk the ball into the net. Didn't win the league like that last year. Their defence was outrageously good, and they won the attacking, free-flowing, beautiful team they were the 5 years before it. And ultimately, that's a league with twice as many teams, more or less, not quite, as ours, and with at least 4 teams that could realistically win that league. We've got 2, right? So therefore, you're not going to get 6 year the way you would get in English Premier League. If you don't win the league, people understand that. He'll not get 5-6 year. No danger he'll get that time. And I just think that it's all going to come down, as always, there's nothing sage in what I'm saying. It's all going to come down to recruitment. That Rangers dressing room had a cohort that were together for years and years and years. And the leadership group were serial losers. They just were, because they didn't win. It's as simple as that. And they turned on Gio. And then Gio wasn't back with a bold either. With his ambitions. I think
there's only one conduit in that leadership group, because it changed, mate. The only conduit was Tav, mate, because the only one that's been there any length of time. Well, you can throw Butland and maybe Raskin into it as well, but they weren't there for the other time, so I don't think it's fair to class them all as the same. But I think the support would be quite happy if we never heard that term again, AK leadership group.
Oh, aye. Totally with you there, Ox. Bennett. Your leader is your manager. That's your guy that you listen to. And he's the guy that the team is meant to emulate, his character on the park. And you've got one leader on the park. You can have many leaders on the park, but your captain is the main voice on the park. So I think there's big changes ahead. There's got to be a lot of shake up. And it's exciting times ahead, Smurf. If we're getting red, white and blue ribbons on the trophies, that'll do for me. And I think we're on agreement there.
What we're going to do is we're going to wrap up, mate, because people will appreciate there's a game that people want to watch. Look, we'll be in touch, and we'll see when we're going to do the shows. Obviously, people on holidays, etc., and we'll take it from there. But we would just like to say for everybody here at Rangers Radio, good luck, Derek McInnes. I hope it works out for you, because that means it's great for our football club. Last word for your good self, Smurf.
Aye, no surrender, onwards and upwards. Good night, chaps.
Cheers, bro. AK.
Well, thanks again, Ox. That was a breaking news tonight, so we just had to react to that. So, no, well done to yourself and the techie guys in the background for putting the show together.
Aye, we go, folks. I think he was just at his bed there at 4 o'clock, mate, because he's watching all these World Cup games. Listen, thanks to your good self. Thanks to Smurf for joining us, and of course, thanks to Fox and Old School Blue for jumping on doing the technicals. Thanks to everybody who's listening. And thanks to everybody for being a Rangers supporter. Rangers Radio will be back soon. We'll keep you updated. If anything else breaks major at the club, any interviews, players coming in the door, go every single season. We'll be back as then we start the build up to season 26, 27, that championship season. Take it away, Old School Boy.
Sure I am an Ulster Frenchmen from Marin's Isle I came to see my British brethren of honor and of fame, and to tell them of my forefathers who fought in days of yore, that I might have the right to wear the sash my father wore. It is old, but it is beautiful, and its colors, they are fine. It was worn at Derry, Aughrim, Enniskillen, and the Boyne. My father wore it as a youth in bygone days of yore, and on the 12th I love to wear the sash my father wore. For those brave men who crossed the Boyne have not fought or died in vain. Our unity, religion and laws and freedom to maintain. If the call should come, we'll follow the drum and cross that river once more, so that tomorrow's Ulster man may wear the sash my father wore. It is old, but it is beautiful, and its colors, they are fine. It was worn at Derry, Aughrim, Enniskillen, and the Boyne. My father wore it as a youth in bygone days of yore, and on the 12th I love to wear the sash my father wore. And when someday across the sea to Antrim shore you come, we'll welcome you in royal style to the sound of flute and drum. And Ulster's hills shall echo still from Rothlin to Dromore, as we sing again the loyal strain of the sash my father wore.
It is old, but it is beautiful, and its colors, they are fine. It was worn at Derry, Aughrim, Enniskillen, and the Boyne.
My father wore it as a youth in bygone days of yore, and on the 12th I love to wear the sash my father